Hey viewers, taking a break from some lawnmowers, which I'll get into that later, of why this is really annoying me. But one of my favorite tech tubers who does like new tech is Lon Simon, and he has a channel called Lon.tv. And part of what he does is he sells some of his previously reviewed items. I actually bought a Fire tablet from him like 2 years ago. I ended up giving it to my mother, and she broke the charge port. Not his fault. But that thing arrived in immaculate shape. So I bought from him, this is actually one of his personal items that he used himself. An Alienware R3, I believe. It's an Alienware 15 R3. The specs on it is a 7700 H something. This thing does show some signs of use, but it is very, very clean. I actually, because this is my work table and I have been working on lawnmowers here, I am going to set some of this stuff aside. Try to find a clean spot. So, I'm just going to set it down on here. Let me move some of these tools out of the way. Move this air filter for a snapper out of the way. And I'm going to push this over. I'm going to sit this down on a clean tape. On clean towels. I don't know how much you can see. You can see somewhat. As you can tell, this isn't my specialty. Man, this thing has got some heft to it. This is... I bought this knowing that it had a few limitations to it. And it is charged. In here, I believe, is the power brick. He chose that he didn't want to use this machine that much because the it's very large for a more slimline machine. So it's got the 7700 H something or the other, and it has a 128 gig hard drive. What did I do with? I thought I grabbed that memory. Oh, I did. It's right there in front of me. So it has 8 gigs of RAM, which is in single channel. I bought 16 gigs dual channel. It also has a 128 gig solid state hard drive, which I'm going to put this 250 gig NVMe in it.
I'm Cortana.
Oh, I was like, where is that voice coming from?
A little sign in here, a touch of Wi-Fi there, and we'll have your PC ready for all you plan to do. Use your voice or the keyboard along the way.
Yeah, let's silence you. Not sure how I feel about this trackpad yet. Keyboard has a good, Can we just skip all this, please? I'm going to install this, and I'm going to leave the, this is a InWin solid state drive. This one's an NVMe 256 gig, and I'm going to leave that I'm going to leave it the 128 gig in here with continue with limited setup, because I am not setting up a Microsoft account. Windows 10. I'm probably going to wipe this anyway and put Pro on it, but I really don't use Windows at all. Why is the caps lock on? Or is it? Oh, shoot. I'm not even going to bother with a password because, like I said, I don't really use it. We are not doing that. So once I get this set up, I'm going to go ahead and shut it down. because this drive here, this 256 gig, is going to do it's going to do Linux. Jeez, I forgot how big of a pain in the butt that is. So we're going to shut off all this. This is weird. I swear I keep seeing something flash on the camera. So he definitely did a factory reset on it. And then these are just basic Crucial DDR4s. I swear I keep seeing something. I'm going to open these up. Hi. Hello. How are you? This also has the GTX 1070. I'm really hoping that this flashing does not mean that the battery's about to die. You really can't see much, can you? This has a very nice screen. I think this is really going to help me with my editing. Because I really hope that isn't that the battery's about to die, because I had the camera plugged in right now. But I think I'm going to go ahead and pause this, and then once I'm up in the Windows, I'll restart the camera. The flashing was about that because when I brought it up, Windows said that the battery was critically low. So I'm going to go ahead and shut it down. We already know what processor's in it and all that. So I guess that lights up. Alright, so that looks like it's shut down. My understanding is there's 7 screws on the bottom of this case. I don't really want them going in the same spot that I have carburetor parts, so I'm going to do this in here. So I'm just looking for my standard Phillips one. Yep, that is right. There are 7 screws. And I need this slightly larger one. I'm really amazed by that, actually. You know, this might be a JIS. Because, the larger one doesn't fit. Yep, that's what it is. They're JIS. They're not... If you're not aware, there is something called a JIS screw. They look like Phillips, but they are completely different. Now that one stays in the case. I'm trying to lay them out how they came out. Almost scratched it. So the funny thing is, I don't really do a whole lot of laptop stuff. But lawnmowers and desktops, I'm good on. So these 4 are the same length. So far I feel like this is going to make editing a heck of a lot better. Because my current laptop is a 3rd gen i5. What is that, a Dell Inspiron 17 something? Man, this does not... Oh, there's clips on it. Okay. I was afraid to pull up on it because it didn't really want to come out that easy. So we'll set this up here. I don't know what kind of RAM is in it. Oh! So this might actually not be good, because that 512 gig or the 500 gig SSD is an NVMe drive. So I'm probably just going to go ahead and wipe it. This is just regular Kingston. I have 2 matching Crucial, so I'm just going to go ahead and put them in. And I'm going to go ahead and replace this. See, I thought it had a 500 gig standard SSD, like a SATA drive. No, it's got a, yeah, so this is the last time Windows is going to be ran on that. Alright, so now I really can't show it working again. Yeah, because you can do a regular 2.5 here, a small SSD here, and then two full-size ones. Get the clips lined up before I punch all this in. So, at another point, I'm going to go ahead and do another review on this, because unfortunately I don't have Windows set up on this, or I don't have Linux set up on this drive. It's a brand new drive I just pulled out. But I guess we should make sure that this goes and sees the memory. And of course now somebody's going to want to bother me on Facebook Messenger. But yeah, so this thing definitely arrived in good working condition. With just a few little... There was definitely some issues with the USPS that I talked about on a live stream earlier. And but yeah, so we'll bug. I'm mostly outdoors. But we're going to go ahead and just make sure it sees the RAM. And we'll deal with that in a little bit. So I'm going to go in, make a Ubuntu, or not Ubuntu, like some sort of Linux. Dell is usually what, F10? Or they Escape, F1, F2, I don't remember which one Dells usually are. But yeah, this is the 7th gen. i7, oh, F2. And then I'll go ahead and make a nice thing. Yeah, 7700 HQ. 16 gigs of DDR4, 2667. NVIDIA graphics. Intel Kaby Lake. And it's a Lexer SSD. I think it's a... I think that's a... I think he said that's a 500 gig. And it should come up saying no operating system. Unless it just shut off. Oh, there we go. Checking media present. So yeah, it's going to go ahead and do nothing. So anyway, that's my new laptop. And oh shoot, didn't realize that was going to happen. But anyway, so thanks for watching. Have a blessed day, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.